Hello, I'm Joan Childs, and I wanted to make this video to share with you probably the most relevant, the most effective, the best, the core of my practice since 1989, and that is inner child work. It has become much more prevalent, much more notable, and much more popular, and over those years from 1989 till now, 2024. In the beginning, it was considered fringe and was not accepted by the professional group of psychiatrists and psychologists. They thought it was pop psychology. But as the years went on, it has become the most formidable, the most effective therapeutic modality that I have ever used, and I've used many and combined them with many that were all good, and they all had their purpose and they were all effective. But to me, the core of all of my work, which is inclusive of many more modalities that came along since 1989, but the bottom line is inner child work. This came out of the abandonment issues, abuse issues, neglect, whether it be sexual when we were children, or physical, or emotional, or verbal, intellectual, spiritual abuse that was perpetrated upon us by parents, some unwittingly understanding what the damage would be done as they grew older, as their children grew over and became adults. The recovering community was probably the most popular that went to the two different conferences that I made with John, both in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, 1 year apart. In order to be effective, I had to make sure that I had enough therapists who would be trained by the Bradshaw Center in their modality, which was called the transformation model. Back in 1989, I presented John. I sponsored him to the Miami Beach Convention Center, where over 4,000 people attended. It was quite shocking, to be honest with you. Most of them from the community, of the recovering community. But as time went on, it spread out to the general population. This incredible modality, inner child work, that he was, I believe he was the innovator. There were a few other people along him, but he was the one that brought it to the public as well as to the recovering community by PBS series Bradshaw on the Family, followed by Homecoming and Family Secrets. It is highly experiential. It has different parts, beginning with the original pain work, and then it goes into cognitive work, then it goes into spiritual work. But the most important thing is to do the original pain. When we were young, when we were vulnerable, when we were innocent, and unable to protect ourselves from our parents, who we saw as giants, who we ended up mythologizing as children or deifying. But we were so abused and so wounded that it interfered with our maturation process, and many, many of us became addicts to different behaviors, different thoughts, and different people, starting with alcohol and drug, codependency, gambling, all kinds of aholics. It doesn't have to just be drugs and alcohol. So I decided that it might be a good idea for me to come to you in your homes or in your offices with information so that you could understand how powerful this work is in effectuating positive change in people, in behaviors, and breaking the patterns that have been self-destructive from their early childhood. They carry these wounds, mother wounds, father wounds, with them into their adulthood, making the same mistakes, repeating the same patterns that they had in childhood, because it was in their unconscious, which really dictates behavior. So for the next few weeks, I will be presenting information on how I work, why I work the way I do, and how important it is to be able to effect this change through the transformation model. It's hard, it's expensive, it's long, but it's the best investment we can make in our future. And when you invest in yourselves, there's never a loss. So let me conclude this short video now by just letting you know that I will be preparing different notes and different presentations to you on YouTube for the next few weeks, so I can I can give you information and educate you on what I believe to be one of the strongest, most effective ways of healing the wounds of childhood. So look for me on YouTube. My name is Joan Childs. I'm in private practice here in South Florida in Hollywood. But this is for the public, people that can understand the power and the magic of inner child work. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again and having more information to share with you. Bye now.